Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mark and today is day 4 of my drawing animals from a jar thing, and let's see what we have today. So I asked you guys, I told you there's a blank piece of paper here, and I asked you to tell me in the comments what you'd like to draw if we ever draw a blank, and so far only got one comment saying a beetle. Today's thing is a raccoon / panda. So let me know when we draw the blank, or if we draw the blank, what you'd like to see me draw that day. I look for references for the raccoon. Kindly subscribe to the channel. It will mean a lot to help the channel out so very much, and I will be very thankful. It's a free way to support the channel, but if you want paid ways to support the channel, kindly check the links in the description below. And again, thank you very much. There are definitely more raccoon pictures than they were Tasmanian devil pictures. I think I'm going to go with this from Chris and Sminger. Thank you, Chris. Just to let you know that Chris is available for hire. So there's that. So let's import our reference. Let's begin our drawing. This is a big one. Wow. Maybe I should work on a bigger canvas. Anyway, there's our reference. Just a slight touch bigger. Let us begin. So today I'm using this brush. It's called the Sketch Grainy shader from the SK2 brush bundle. I think I got this. Yeah, I got this on the official Krita YouTube page. So if you're interested in that, you can find that there. So for today, we'd start with the quick block-in of the raccoon's features. And so far, again, I'm undecided. I don't know whether to leave it as a sketchy thing or to take it to another level. I'm pretty sure we'll find out what we want to do towards as soon as we're done with the sketch. Let's make this just a slight bit smaller. Same with our thing. Let me just sketch, I think, in silence for a bit. And when something interesting happens, I'll let you guys know. Random thought that just crept into my head. So while those thoughts are gathering, and after I just said I'll be sketching in silence, how have you guys been this fine? It's day 4, so this fine Friday. How are you? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And thank you for subscribing when I told you to subscribe. It means a lot. Thank you for the new subscribers. And by the way, if you're new, I'm doing this whole 31 animals in August thing because I am trying to learn this software that is Krita. I used to paint using Photoshop, but again, Photoshop can be very expensive, and as much as there are plenty of Krita tutorials and channels who may know exceedingly much more than what I know about Krita, there are some things I haven't yet seen from those channels. So as I learn, I'm going to show you the things I am learning, and should I discover something by myself, of course, I'll let you guys know first thing. Anything about brush creation or something that I actually need to research on. Maybe read the Krita manual. That's using the layer masks. Masks were a huge thing for me in Photoshop, and I can't seem to find it. It was something I was using really often. Now it's nowhere to be seen. I'm sure there are some filter masks, but those are for all these things. I don't know what these are yet. Rest assured, once I find out, I'll try and give this information to you guys. Because again, Krita is free and open source, meaning if you're a coding kind of person, once you get the software, and you can tweak it and change it to what you like. Or if you're like me and you don't really care about all that stuff, you can just use it as is, maybe modify just a few things like the brushes and the way your interface looks. Shade in these dark areas so we can see what they look like once they're shaded. These are the really dark areas. So I have this brush at 32% opacity, and for the really dark places I am either making many passes on top of those areas, or I am pressing really hard. Also keep in mind something I've learned, maybe you already know but I didn't, when you're drawing with anything really, but more so for if you're using styluses in your work, hold the pen lightly and move your hand from your shoulder. Otherwise, you might get really bad wrist pain. Yeah, something happened to me last week while the first time I was using this program, because I think for Krita, for Krita, the pressure and opacity settings are different from Photoshop, in that in the brush settings the brushes are modified to automatically detect hand pressure, so they don't work exactly like they do in Photoshop. That's why we don't have the flow setting or the opacity thing here. There's usually an icon for toggling on and off the pen pressure to control the opacity or the size of the brush. It's not present in this program how one would think it should be present. There's something to think about. I'm loving the sketch. Let's try dangerous things, which is, since we're already here, there's no point in being scared of painting, so let's try painting it. So I'm going to use this grayish, maybe just the gray color for the base, then paint on top of that using, which brush should we use? Let's use my favorite brush of all time, which is the airbrush. And I discovered I like to start with the highlights. Most people who draw and paint online usually start with the shadows, and I kind of like doing the highlights first because the lights give the subject some form faster. Maybe not, maybe it's just me, but that's how I feel. And then now can do the darker bits. Let me duplicate my sketch layer so we have a copy, and then usually, you guys know I like to merge things. So now I've merged my sketch with the paint layer down below. Now there's no going back. Really have to paint this, but I think today's video will be a bit short. I realize whenever I say that the video is 20 minutes long, but you guys will watch, right? For the eyes, I'm going to go just a bit lighter, increase my brush size, and then show this part of the eye, sclera, and enhance it with an even darker thing around the eye, and just a bit lighter. Let's show this spherical nature of eyeball, and then the final thing with slightly lower opacity, go really light, show something like that. And then I'd like to make just a bit slightly wet, even brighter highlight over here. Have something like so. And then to paint in the fur-like texture, I either do this, try to extend the darks into the lights, the lighter colored fur, and then use the lights also to come back in like this, trying to keep it random. But the human thing is to find patterns in everything, so it's kind of difficult, but we will do something with all that. Probably with the darker gray. Seem to not have as much control over this airbrush as I thought I would. It's quite a lot different from the airbrushes I have used in other programs. I think Krita really wants me to use the painting brushes for painting, to leave the airbrush things for airbrush things. So let's try and do that. I think I like how the sketchiness feels, so I'll go back to the sketchy brush I had before, increase its opacity just a bit, and just layer things over things. It's kind of like how I would do this if I were working on paper, because this brush has a very similar to working with pencil, and I like the texture, I like the layering aspect. The airbrush was making everything too blurry, so now let's try and get some different effects. We keep changing our brush size. Let's probably add in a background layer, put it over there, and let's fill it with the gradient. Never used the gradient tool before in any program actually. How does it work? And something like that. Oh, okay, not bad. Okay, I can do the same for our raccoon. Maybe put it in a clipping group. Nope. Yes, very much yes. So now the layer on top, let me use 100% opacity. I will try to refine these like really sharp edges. Go back to the airbrush. We can refine our eyes just a bit. And with a clipping layer, we turn this into a color, and then it's a bit bluish gray, and then at the underside it's a bit brown. Then back on top, do something I usually forget, that's the whiskers. I think also we'll go back to our airbrush and try and do something for this nose. I think we're done. I think we are done. Let's mirror it just to see. It's not a bad raccoon, definitely better than the lemur. And with that, there goes our video. How do I do these outros? My gosh. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you for subscribing. And if you like to find ways to support me and the channel, kindly look at the links in the description below. Otherwise, have a great day. See you tomorrow for day 5. Again, let me know when we pull the blank thing what you'd like to see in the comments below. And yeah, have a great day. 2 thumbs up. Bye.